Hey, it's Warren Sprouse. You're on the Bible Forum. We do this every Sunday night from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time. We'd love for you to join us live. You can get in the chat room and all the rest of it. Torment the guys and gals. Have you heard anything about the floral artist out in the West Coast who refuses to support same-sex marriage with her artistry? Well, when it happened, the couple involved with all of this sued her, said she was discriminating against them as homosexuals. She lost the case and she appealed. It has reached the district court level there on the West Coast, probably the 9th district, the most liberal and the most overturned district in the country. And they have ruled finding in favor of the plaintiff. Now, that puts the floral artist out of business. Why? Because the court wants to eradicate discrimination. That's what they say. The judge wrote in her opinion, quote, "The state's non-discrimination law takes precedent over religious belief, even if it substantially burdens constitutional religious free exercise rights." So she knows, this judge, she knows what they're doing is in conflict with all these other rights, but it doesn't matter. The case is over Washington floral artist Barronelle Stutzman, who has refused to support same-sex marriage with her artistry. She was sued by the state for her decision, which was based on her sincerely held religious faith. The judges noted that she's an active member of the Southern Baptist Church. Well, that's enough, isn't it? They go on to say it is contested that her sincerely held religious beliefs include a belief that marriage can exist only between one man and one woman. I say they understood clearly. But apparently that was of no account. Instead, the judges said what was important was the emotional toll that Stutzman's refusal took on Fried and Ingersoll, the homosexual couple. That toll was so severe, the opinion said, that they lost enthusiasm for a large ceremony as initially imagined. Can I get a aww? I mean, this is enough to make you sick. The incident also caused them to be concerned for their own safety, according to the judges. Two words come to mind: poppycock. How is having a merchant refuse to sell you something a safety issue? Well, because it draws attention to what's going on, and now there are people who will come after us and persecute us. Well, let me ask you a question. What does the First Amendment mean? Very familiar with government suppression of political and religious speech, the framers of our Constitution wanted to make certain that things like that would not happen here. People had the right to assemble, to speak their mind, to worship as they saw fit, without government interference. And trust me, the heart of this issue is the free exercise of religion or religious belief. You can hold it privately, but you can't bring it into your business. However, the U.S. Supreme Court has identified three principles underlying the free exercise clause. One of them says the government may enforce its criminal norms against persons whose religious practices would thwart a compelling societal interest. So the question becomes, is homosexuality and or same-sex marriage a compelling societal interest? But as Shakespeare wrote, therein lies the rub. Because the answer is apparently yes, at least where the most liberal district court in the land is concerned. The district court that recently ruled that pausing immigration for 90 days represented damage to citizens of Washington State and Minnesota. Same court. A court whose rulings have been overturned 86% of the time just in the last 10 years. Marriage ceremonies and cakes? What's next? Preachers? And if not, why not? In my home state of New Jersey, I doubt that it's changed. I've been gone from there for 30 years. But anyone in the state of New Jersey may officiate at a wedding, whether or not they are recognized to do so. The law does not hold that out and say, yeah, that's what we believe. But that's the assumption. The law states that should a private citizen be married, should a citizen be married by another private citizen, not a member of the clergy, not pastoring a church, not having the authority of a recognized church and so forth, if they are married by this private citizen, the marriage is still legal. Now, whether or not the state would go after the private citizen isn't all that clear. We would presume they could or would on some level. I'm guessing this sort of thing applies to most states. And the point here is there are many, many floral artists in the state of Washington. Why would you want to force one to do something they don't want to do? And can you do that with auto mechanics? And what are the damages in this case? Did people lose money? Did they lose their health? No. The newlyweds were emotionally upset. And now that constitutes significant damage. Can you say snowflake?